Hello, welcome to my channel if you're new, or welcome back if you've been here before. In today's video, I wanted to share with you a playlist that I made on Spotify that's going to get you in the mood for autumn. Before we go over the song recommendations I'm going to give you in order to get all autumnal and cozy, go ahead and subscribe to my channel down below so you don't miss any of my future videos, and let's get started. Christmas gets so much attention when it comes to music that I felt a little bit sad that autumn doesn't get that same attention, because I think autumn is such a magical time, both in nature and just the holidays that it has and the coziness and the warmth and the colors, and I just feel like it's worthy of music. So it was that concept that gave me the idea to make a playlist on Spotify of all of my favorite songs that have something to do with autumn, or at least give me like cozy fall vibes. Just as a little disclaimer, I do actually have my degree in music, which I feel like not a lot of people know that about me. So I'm hoping that that extra little bit of knowledge will make me a credible source to recommend you some new and good music. The genres mainly consist of jazz and I guess acoustic guitar, folk kind of music. I find that those two genres the most kind of reflect the fall vibes, the cozy kind of autumnal feelings. So I've mainly included those types of songs on the playlist. So the name of the playlist is Songs to Listen to as the Leaves Turn, and I've included the link down in the description box below. I normally would include snippets of the song right here on this video, but I didn't want to get into copyright strike territory, so if you could just click on that link below and we can kind of do a side-by-side, have your playlist open on one screen and then my video in another, and then we can go from there. As I go through the songs, you can kind of listen to what I'm referencing, if that makes sense. So the title of the playlist is Songs to Listen to as the Leaves Turn, and it's got a little leaf emoji, of course. So, come back. So we're just going to start. I actually tried to keep this organized in order. There's kind of two parts to the playlist. The first chunk is mainly jazz standards that specifically have something to do with autumn. They talk about autumn, they talk about the weather, leaves, something of the sort, seasons, whatever. If you're not as familiar with jazz, a lot of artists will cover the same jazz standards, so there's going to be a couple of the same song but different musicians performing it. So the first song on my playlist is Lullaby of the Leaves, and the version I have as my top favorite is by the Singers Unlimited, which is a vocal group. They sing 4-part vocal harmonies, and fun little fact is the bass singer is actually the voice of the Jolly Green Giant in the General Mills commercial. So that's kind of a fun little fact. But I just love this. I actually love this whole album that they recorded. Not only is it vocal jazz, but it also has the big band behind them. And I just love the kind of that fusion of vocal and instrumental jazz kind of coming together. And Lullaby of the Leaves is very autumnal in the lyrics as well. So I like that one. And also on the playlist, I have the version by Ella Fitzgerald. Ella Fitzgerald is probably my favorite female jazz vocal artists. The next song I have on my playlist is Autumn Leaves. And there's a lot of great versions out there, but the one that I actually have been really enjoying is the one by Eva Cassidy. She actually plays the acoustic guitar with it and sings a really great rendition, and I just think that it's very moody and dark and perfect for dark, stormy nights, and I love sad music. I think sad music is better than happy music. I just think it's more emotional and just I don't know, kind of dark and ominous sounding, and I really like that. Besides the version by Eva Cassidy, I've also included the version by Chet Baker, who is one of my favorite trumpet players as well. There are no lyrics in his version, it's just trumpet playing. The next song on this playlist is Autumn in New York. I mean, this one just screams like Christmas music, except a fall version of Christmas music. The version that I have as my favorite is probably the one by Billie Holiday. I really like her version, but also Ella Fitzgerald and Louis Armstrong did their own version, and I really like that one as well. The next song on the playlist is called 'Tis Autumn. Once again, it's pretty much a Christmas song except with fall lyrics. So the version that I have as my favorite on there right now is by the Nat King Cole Trio. Also Ella Fitzgerald, of course, and guitarist Joe Pass has one as well. Oh, and you know what? Chet Baker also did a version too. Alright, so this one's a little bit of a stretch. It's not specifically autumnal or fall lyrics, but it is Sweet Pumpkin, and the version I have is by Blue Mitchell, another great trumpet player. I'm not even going to try to attempt this name, but Lucy, it's up there. She has a version that has lyrics to it. The lyrics are, "To be sweet pumpkin," and that's literally like the only time they say pumpkin in it. So I'm like, pumpkin, add. Also with the Sweet Pumpkin, it kind of has like the Peanuts vibes a little bit, like Charlie Brown and stuff, so that kind of makes it feel a little more festive as well. Alright, the next one, I actually have 2 songs on this playlist by the Four Freshmen. They're a really great vocal group as well. They have both September Song, which I actually did a cover of September Song, a vocal version of it, and I'll link it above here if you want to listen to it, my version of it. But September Song, really great lyrics, really great harmonies in this song. The Four Freshmen also did Early Autumn. So the last kind of jazz standard, I guess, that is specifically about fall by Julie London, and it is November Twilight. She actually released an album called Calendar Girl, and it's kind of cool. I feel like it's something I would totally do, is each month has a different song. So there's one for January, February, March, and so she does actually have one for September, which is called September in the Rain. She has one for October, and then this one's November's. November is definitely my favorite. That concludes the portion of the playlist that are jazz standards, specifically with lyrics or themes about fall. Now, this next chunk is going to be organized more by artist and more based on what sounds autumnal to me, that gives me autumn vibes. Just kind of makes me feel like I'm in a part of Twilight or something, like I'm driving down the road through the Twilight Forest and Forks, and there's like fog and it's raining, and I've got like my hot coffee from the gas station and it doesn't taste very good, but it's pumpkin flavored. And this is the playlist. These are the songs that you want to listen to while that's happening. So Chet Baker, even though he's a trumpet player, back in, I think it was the 50s, he released Chet Sings, an album where he's actually singing and playing the trumpet, kind of going back and forth. It's funny because even though he's not first and foremost a singer, I really like the style that he sings with. It's just very calming and soothing. And then, of course, with like the soft jazz in the background and he switches the trumpet, it makes me feel cozy and autumnal. So my favorite songs by him that I've included on my playlist are I Fall in Love Too Easily, and then But Not For Me is the other one. The next artist I have on here that gives me cozy fall vibes is actually a little more modern than some of the music I normally would listen to. Norah Jones, actually. So she's kind of like a pop jazz fusion, I suppose. And the 2 songs that I put on my playlist to recommend to you are Come Away With Me, which is kind of like the rain on the tin roof and stuff like that. So Come Away With Me, and then the other one is Shoot the Moon by Norah Jones as well. So next artist on my playlist that gives me cozy autumnal vibes is Feist. She's very similar to Norah Jones, except remove more of the jazzy vibes and add more grungy. 2 that I've recommended on here are Mushaboom, which is a really cutesy, cheerful, gives me Anne of Avonlea vibes. You know, she's talking about the little dirt road and just kind of paints a picture about some nature scenes. And then the other one is Honey Honey. Honey Honey is a little bit spooky and eerie sounding, and this one actually has a really cool music video if you're interested in watching something artsy as well. I think it's like a claymation. Next up on my list is actually the folk duo group Simon and Garfunkel. If you don't know much about Simon and Garfunkel, you should really look them up because they're just a staple in music history, and they are kind of like a folk, almost rock kind of duo. They really have great songwriting, great guitar parts, and they just sound so great together. So the 2 songs that I've put on here, actually I've put 3. I couldn't choose on just 2. So there's Kathy's song, great songwriting. Cloudy is the next one, and that one, of course, you know, anything to do with nature and like maybe slightly ominous nature. And then the last recommendation from Simon and Garfunkel that I have on here is Overs. Overs is a really great, once again, great guitar playing, great songwriting, and it's extremely clever song. So the next artist I'm going to share with you, I was actually extremely excited to share. She is actually a multi-instrumentalist from Portugal, and her name is Maro. And she's actually currently touring with Jacob Collier, who is another musician you need to check out, and we'll talk about him later. But Maro, she's probably my favorite musician at the moment. I love the tone of her voice. I love her guitar playing. I love her songwriting. Everything about it is just exactly what I want to listen to when it's raining and it's drizzly and I'm reading Harry Potter and it's cozy. I had to only pick 3 songs to make sure that this playlist just didn't get too long. But the 3 that I chose as my top favorites right now are Runnin' Away, Happily Never After, and Still Feel It All. And okay, so this is important. Actually, this whole album, if you get the chance to listen to the whole album, I really highly recommend it. So the album is called It's Okay. If you get a chance to listen to the whole album, I definitely encourage you to do it. Don't put it on shuffle. Make sure you start from the first song and go through it chronologically, because a lot of the songs actually bleed into each other, so the way that one ends will be the same way that another starts, and I think that's really clever. I love it when artists kind of share a whole story within their album as opposed to just a bunch of separate little stories. Right beforehand, I had mentioned that Morrow is touring with Jacob Collier. He doesn't give me as many autumnal vibes, just because his music's pretty wild, and I like to listen to it when I want to think about music. It's definitely not background music because it's so busy and complicated, and he uses lots of weird chords and weird time meters and stuff. He's definitely, I mean, he's a genius, so you gotta check him out. But the one song that he has called In My Room, I love listening to that when I want to feel cozy because I love being in my room too. So last but not least on the list is an artist called Yeba, and she actually is an R&B singer, musician slash songwriter slash whatever. She's got just this amazing vocal range, both in terms of pitch and just she's able to get so many different tones out of her voice that I really enjoy listening to her for that reason. But her song Evergreen is really great. I believe that she wrote it about when her mom passed away, and so it's an emotional song for her. And then also her song October Sky as well. Of course, October, anytime you mention the word October, it's got to go on the fall playlist. Let me know in the comments below, because I am curious to see if anyone actually goes and checks them out, or perhaps maybe you already knew some of these artists or already knew some of these songs too, in which case also let me know down in the comments. So if you listen to that, that would be 2 hours top to bottom if you listen to the whole thing. So hopefully that list of music will keep you busy. Hopefully that gave you some good music inspiration, some good recommendations to add into your repertoire of listening. Hopefully that they make you feel cozy and autumnal as well, or that you can at least make a playlist of cozy autumnal vibes on your own. And I will see you in the next video. Bye.
Yes, do you have some allergies?